My name is Joanne Walker, and everyone who's here tonight. It is very important that we recognize one another by looking in each other's eyes. And there's a tribe in Africa when they see one another for the first time, they say, "I see you."
We are the Trailblazers. After all, isn't the city and county of San Francisco a melting pot of diverse minorities and protected classes? Lieutenant Valerie Matthews of the San Francisco Police Department. This is another historical time putting officers to justice. The first time in the history of our association that there are two women that are in charge of the association. And it's exciting. The first officer is Sylvia Harper, Police Department. She is the first and only black woman of the San Francisco Police Department to rise to the rank of commander and to hold this position for over 6 years.
Thank the officers for justice for this recognition. And I'd like to thank my family, my husband Maurice, and the children for their love and support throughout the years. You know, when I was in the police department for over 32.5 years, I didn't think of being a trailblazer at the time. I think for me and the other honorees, we were all mothers, we were spouses, and the department was a job. We had to help put food on the table and a roof over our children's heads. We did what was necessary to get the job accomplished. I like to think what we, the women, brought to the task was that we were sensitive, we did our jobs with integrity, and we cared for the people who, even the people who we arrested, we treated them with respect and with pride. And that was because, as we looked upon, as you know, the ones who, unfortunately, the ones who are incarcerated, they look like me, they look like you. I saw in the face of these community people, I saw my father, I saw my brother, I saw my sister, maybe my uncle and aunt. And we must all remember, nobody's all bad. We did our job as police officers. I want you to know we treated the public with respect. With that, I'd like to also give honor to, you know, the Officers of Justice, the president, current president, Yolanda Williams, because she is a trailblazer in regards that not only was she president of the Officers of Justice, but she was also a representative of the Police Officers Association, which had not been done before. And I'd also like to give honor and respect also to Valerie Matthews, as she stands here very humbly. She was the first black female in the homicide unit. We are all trailblazers, every one of us. We're only what we are because of the people who came before us, and hopefully we're leaving steps for others to follow after us. So thank you all for this recognition.
Joyce Watkins.
from Dugan's funeral service. My daughter was telling someone at her job that I was being recognized. by whom? The morticians. I want to thank the men of the Office of Justice. All the setup, those that were in the lawsuits in the beginning. Joy, setup, these men started the lawsuit. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. And I am very appreciative to them for doing what they did. And in our first class, we really had a really rough time. They treated us really, really bad. But we all were 32 women, right? 32 women, but we all stuck together and we said, we're going to do this. And we did. And after the first year we were working, we were under a consent decree. And Judge, I think Robert Penton. And so what they did, they came back and public advocates wanted some of the women to come before Judge Peckham and tell them how we were doing. Well, they didn't get a lot of women to do it, but I was one of the women that stood up, went to court, had my binder, and I had to testify because they treated us bad. Even though we won the court order, they didn't care. They still did what they wanted to do. But we stayed there, we fought it out, and I was able to retire, and I thank God for that. So I'm just thankful.
Officer Sylvia Davey. Vice Mayor Jackson. And all the pleasure of doing that I can thank God allows me to do
San Francisco Police Officer Gladys, stand up, because I have Gladys as star member, and we grew up in Pretoria Hill together. Gladys set the example of soldiers what to do to be successful in San Francisco Police Department, and I appreciate you and love you for that. Okay, OFJ Women Trailblazer Award. This is to commend and honor Mrs. Joyce Williams, and I'm going to ask for Rodney Williams and Vivian Williams to come up here. And this is presented to you February 24th, 2015.
Congratulate the women. Years ago, we filed a suit, and part of that suit was to try to eliminate discrimination to minorities and to women. And we were successful, see tonight. And to my surprise, one of those women happened to be my daughter, who's about ready to retire after almost 30 years. I'll say a word.
Another award, the Officers for Justice 2015 OFJ Commitment Award, an honor and recognition for your outstanding achievements, hard work, sacrifice, commitment, and dedication to fighting for social justice and equality for the Officers for Justice Peace Officers Association. We are honored to present the 2015 OFJ Commitment Award to Lieutenant Vivian Williams. The members of the Officers for Justice want to thank you for being part of Black History. And for those of you who do not know, she is the #1 lieutenant in the San Francisco Police Department in seniority. She's #1.
Thank you. And it's hard to follow this up after my mom being honored. This is my family. I was born into this organization. I've been coming to these events since I was 12. I'm old. As you understand, I've been around for a long time. This organization has grown so much. We did talk about the forefathers, Troy and Miles, and it's just amazing to see how we're doing. But I just really want to take a minute to thank the men and women who haven't done that, who are there with their families, and sometimes people, need to be, they can't be a lieutenant, they can't give all those hours. Staying home, taking care of your children, working with the community is equally as important. And I really think people need to thank you for that. I think everyone that does have children, you need to.
Troy Dangerfield Sr. here. And also is Troy Jr. here. Where's Troy Jr.? Again, this 2015 OFJ Trailblazer Awards is to commend and honor Mrs. Mildred G. Dangerfield. Again, the OFJ is so appreciative of the sacrifices and the devotion and the commitment and the support that she provided to her husband, Troy. It is our pleasure to give you this award in memory of your wife. And we just want to acknowledge that we did have an award for Officer Protocols for her 31 years of outstanding service and achievements and her hard work and sacrifice. She had to leave early, but we will make sure that this one gets presented to her. Val and I also had a certificate for Officer Terry Ivy, who was one of the original women that came into the San Francisco Police Department, and we will make sure that she gets hers. Unfortunately, she's out of town this week. And then, of course, we had a certificate of honor for the 2015 Women Trailblazers for Willa Brown, the first female OFJ president, and we will ensure that she too gets hers. Officers for Justice Peace Officers Association is honored to present the 2015 OFJ Trailblazer Award to Pastor Stacy Curry.
Good. I'm humbled by this because I just came here to do the invocation. I think you have it right, Mr. Dangerfield. I know you have it right, that the whole world is looking to San Francisco for how we will bridge the gap between the community and the police department. And I really do think that we have the heart and soul to do it here in San Francisco. I know that we can make it. I know there's a different way. I know in the hearts and minds of a lot of our officers, they love this job. They love their community. And we want to see better things happen. So I'm encouraged, and I'm going to keep praying and keep working until we can see a real difference made in our city. But I just want to thank you. Thank you, church. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
We also did have our award for Dr. Espinola Jackson. However, in our hastiness to get here, that was left behind. However, Dr. Espinola Jackson, we heard that the men of OFJ were inspired and ignited with fire by you when we entered into that consent decree. So we will be having a certificate of honor for your contributions as well to the women of the office.